So I'm down here by the reservoir on yet another part of the journey. So you see the culverts coming in from behind me here. It'll plane into this pooling area. And over here is where I have the nice little pipe that comes up that will feed into a trap and out to the pond. So we have that all set up, but we need something that blocks the water to elevate it so that it doesn't flow into the channel naturally. So I'm building a gate. Now this is a new and improved gate from the gate that I had before. That gate, that's the past. Let's move forward. So what I'm doing right here, if you look down here below, is I've got this nice 2-foot trench all the way across, and I'm going to build the gate. So first steps are going to be to build the mold, then I'm going to do some bending of rebarb, and off to the races we go, mixing some cement. Stick with us. Well, welcome back to the channel. I'm up here at the shop right now, and I'm going to build the form for the gate that will obviously restrict the water and create the pond that'll lead to the reservoir. I have my rough draft here, and it's I think a pretty good one. It's laid out. I know what I'm doing with it, so it's just a matter of each step thinking before you cut, right? And you know, we'll get it together. It'll work out just good. So off to the races here. So the first step is going to put together this footing. So I've calculated that out to be 80 inches long, so I'm going to have to cut a couple of these boards. It'll leave me with a couple foot stragglers. That's fine because I'm going to need them for braces later on. So with that, I'm just going to cut these down to 80 inches, 2 boards. And then what I'm going to do is affix 2 ends to it. And it'll be our footing. And then from that point on, I'll start to build the structure out of it. So the first basic step is done. This is the footing. So now I have to build in the stem walls. And this is where a little bit more thinking's got to go into play here, where to set those at. Now I have put the measurements together. Let me go get them. And so I've got it kind of figured out exactly where I need it all to be. And I cut those other 2 boards just now. So I'm going to place those up here and get them into spot. So I'm going to run those 2 boards all the way across as well, and then set the other boards accordingly. Like this, I can start to assemble my walls. I'm going to go ahead and place the walls inside here all the way down to where I need it to be down below above the footing. Plus I've got to run some boards up the side here to actually on the inside to come all the way up and make these walls as well. So some calculations, some work to be done. slot for the board to go in here, the actual gate that will divert the water, or should I say raise the level of the pond, which will cause the water to exceed into the pond or the reservoir. So that's built. I'm gonna go ahead and attach them. Well, here is the form for the gate. What a beast. I just, it's funny when you think about it, you think it's much smaller until you actually build it. And it's quite the monster. The good news is that it will hold, back the water. So the water is definitely going to divert around this. Once the cement's obviously in there, it's going to just be a ton of weight. So the next step is to bend some rebar, cut it to length, get it bent in here. Got about a couple, 2, 3 in each one of these towers, and then run some guys up here in the middle as well, tied in to the base. So a little bit of iron works. Again, very new to that. I think I did just once on that one other gate that I built. So I've never actually bent any metal before. So it'll be somewhat of an experience. I'm sure it's not overly difficult, but it needs to be done. And another learning experience here at Changing Latitudes. Well, that could have gone just a tad better. The metal just too new and learning, right? But hey, listen, it looks like it's going to come together. It's it's a little wibbly wobbly, but once you put it in the box, pour cement on it, that'll do its job. But let me take you up closer. So that's the one side of the gate, if you will, the tower on the right, comes across the trough in the middle, and then back up the tower on the left. It is really rickety. I won't say it isn't, but if you look at the girth of it there, it comes around the two sides here. 1, 2 is the footing. So it looks like it's going to come together. So right here I have the ironworks right there buried in. I showed you a little bit of that a little while ago, and it's ready to go. I think I've got it set up structurally sound. Things are gonna work. Cross my fingers. We are gonna go get the form to place over the top of that and put it in and prepare ourselves for the cement pour that'll happen in a couple days. With that, let me go ahead and get the form with Ron. Yeah, right. I don't know how we're gonna get some of the stuff to work inside here, though. God damn it. One wire. See here? Yeah. This almost has to come towards you a little bit. If we get more room over there. terrible, but front, yeah, it's just a tad that way. Got has to come up, which is not terrible, right?
Right.
How are we inside here? This actually looks really good on this, but I'm going to treat that as the top of pipe.
Yeah. Top of pipe.
Okay.
It's like a,
Well, and this is really the way you measure it, because that's the lip. So if we came, yep, about 2 inches below, which is what I believed I was doing. So then when I put in my 5-inch board, right, or 5.5, that'll put 3.5 inches above the pipe.
right. Yep.
Yeah, and that's with the rock.
Yeah.
So the entire board technically this is level with the top of the deal, the pipe.
Yep. Yeah.
So the engineer did an okay job.
Yep.
I know you were criticizing it. I could just feel it. Here I go on to mixing the cement and pouring it for the gate here. Really excited about how this is going to turn out. I think it's going to work out great. We're really set up for success. Of course, you know, I'm hand mixing it into the tractor, and I'm expecting somewhere around 22 bags worth of product necessary of the 80-pound concrete bags. So, you know, we'll see. I'll be a little tuckered out afterwards, but it doesn't matter. I think it's going to work out really slick here. So yeah, I'm going to pour the middle here. I got to take this center thing off, pour the middle, pour it into the sides, and then you know, go ahead and reset and probably make another batch, pour some more in the middle, pour a little bit more in the middle, and then get my way up. So here we go. Well, you don't know what you get until you get her out of the wrapper. And I tell you, I got a sinking suspicion that this went down okay. I think it went well. I packed it in along the way. You know, I pushed it down. So I think we got it. You know, there's a little bit of here and there that you always kind of wonder. But for the most part, I'm really happy with how this came out for now. And again, not until you get her out of the wrapper do you know. So I'll do that tomorrow. You know, we've got about 24 hours to go here, and we'll see what it looks like somewhere around 2-3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and I'll share that out. Here we are some 39 hours later, and I'm going to take away the forms. Want to reveal what was put together. You know, I'm a little bit anxious about this moment. We'll see how good I did. So I'm going to take apart the insides first and then work my way out to the outsides and then see what you know falls apart on one end to another. It looks like I have some decent separation here. I see that it's pulled away from the form, which is exactly what we're looking for. So here we go. Well, I got some opportunity here that I wasn't really expecting. I thought this would turn out a little bit better. It's not as smooth as I thought it would be within the form. It's actually very kind of got a lot of holes and what have you. I got a couple spots that I think are going to be problematic, definitely. Keep in mind that I cannot have any holes in this thing because the water will get in, freeze, and then crack it. So I'm going to have to come back with a skim coat of some form and coat this thing out and then you know, come back and seal it. So I think structurally it's very sound, it's very nice, and it looks like it came out exactly as I planned in the form. I'm having a little difficulty getting these two pieces out of the middle for the slot. I anticipated that, and worst case scenario, I just got to come in here with a multi-tool and cut out the screws and then break out the little two pieces away from each other, and it'll fall right out. So I'm going to go ahead and go to that and be right back with you. Okay, this is where we're at now. We've got all the slots opened and ready to go. There's a little bit of a bear taking out those pieces of wood. I had to kind of multi-tool them out as I just showed. So with that, I'm looking at this, and we got some opportunities, right? So I didn't compact well enough in certain locations, thought I did. So I'm going to come back to this thing and probably put some cement thin coat on it and you know, make it all tight. Now the reason for that is not so much that I need it to look all pretty. It's because water gets into these little crevices and then freezes, and then when it freezes it busts up cement. So I've got to close those out and then water seal it as well. Yeah, I'll make sure that I get all that taken care of. So next steps. Okay, I'm going to plug up these holes. think it turned out okay. I'm gonna have to do this in 2 parts. Well, first of all, I ran out of Newcrete, but I think also too that I just have, it's now I'm getting to the point where there's detail, and it's not that I'm trying to make this thing overly sexy. It's just that I've got some spots in here inside the the groove that I have for the board for the gate that need to be done, and I'm gonna have to get in there with a different tool and work it out. Plus, again, I just don't have any more, so I'll come back to it, let this dry, set up, and then I'll come back and hit it again. Probably hit it in another week. Okay, I'm out here gonna go ahead and paint this with some foundation coating. A big chunk of this is gonna be underwater through the season. Obviously, about 9 months a year we'll have no water, but I do want to protect it as much as I can. So I'm gonna go ahead and use some foundation coating and just paint the bottom and around. I'll leave this top section in the areas that will be seen as just gray, because at the end of the day this is going to be surrounded by river rock, which of course is white and gray. So I'm going to go ahead and paint this up, and here we go. Okay, with this now painted, we can close it up. I'm gonna wait for it to dry just a bit more. It dries really quick, but I'm gonna let it dry, and then we're gonna backfill this, close this in, put all the plastic up 100%, and set ourselves up for success for the rocks to be delivered in a couple weeks.